The final month of the Missouri Valley Conference regular season tips off tonight, and here in Normal, the Illinois State Redbirds play host to the UIC Flames. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Illinois State basketball here on Marquee. Kurt Pegler, Kelly Burke with you here at CEFCU Arena, where it's ISU against UIC. The Flames are struggling right now. They have a long losing streak, but the Redbirds are coming off perhaps their best win of the season.
Illinois State, a huge confidence-boosting win over first-place SIU. Now looking to string together consistency, and they'll have to match the physicality defensively they played with against SIU tonight. UIC, a very deceiving 1-11 Valley record, but this is a good basketball team. They get up and down the floor, and they take a lot of three balls.
And the Flames have that 9-game losing streak, but they also feature one of the best young players in the conference. Jace Carter might be the Flames' top player, and he's just a sophomore.
Jace Carter, the model of consistency, coming off back-to-back double-doubles, a strong physical guard who can attack off the dribble, stop and pop from mid-range, or knock down the three ball. Defensively, Carter, fast switch, active hands, and he leads the Flames in steals.
On the other side of the coin for Illinois State, a veteran player, a fifth-year senior in Seneca Knight, has been great for about a month, and he's been really good the last 7 days.
Seneca Knight coming off a season-high 24 points against SIU. He's been the key offensive catalyst in the Redbirds' improvement over the last couple of games. Knight getting to the paint at a high percentage, so it's opening up the three ball for the Redbirds. A great turnaround and getting to the free throw line at a really high clip.
It's ISU and UIC, and the tip-off is up next here on Marquee. Back here at CEFCU Arena for college basketball tonight as Illinois State plays host to one of the new teams in the Missouri Valley Conference, the UIC Flames. The Flames come in with a 9-14 record. As we mentioned, a 1-11 mark in the conference. Their only win was against Illinois State when the two teams played in Chicago. The Redbirds are 9-14. They're 4-8, but that could be very deceiving. The Redbirds took Bradley to overtime last week and beat Southern Illinois, so perhaps they're starting to kind of turn the corner here.
Think about even Illinois State. Think about the teams they have beaten this year. Besides SIU, who's in first place, Belmont, another team tied for first place, and then Missouri State, who's up in the top part of the standings.
Yeah, it's a crazy Missouri Valley Conference race right now with 8 teams separated by just 2 games, and so it's going to be a crazy month of February for sure. Get a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game here at CEFCU Arena. The UIC Flames start a freshman, 2 sophomores, a junior, and a grad student. This is a very young team for Luke Yaklich. He's got 5 freshmen on his roster, only 4 returners from a year ago, so this is a young team.
Young team, and also limited in their depth. They only have 9 active players right now, so you will see so much of that youth playing. 4 freshmen that see a lot of playing time.
Redbirds will start the same 5 that opened the game on Sunday in that win against Southern Illinois. Luke Kasubke, Malachi Poindexter, Seneca Knight, Liam McChesney, and Kendall Lewis. And yes, Darius Burford is ready to play. He's been fitted with a temporary mask, and so we're going to see him here tonight.
Coach Ryan Peeton telling me earlier today, Burford is not only ready to play, he's floored to play. He is ready to go. No issues so far with that face mask, and you can expect him to be on the court at some point tonight.
One player who will not play tonight for Illinois State is Colton Sandage, the veteran guard who's had back issues the whole season. In fact, he missed the first matchup between the Flames and the Redbirds in Chicago, and his back has flared up again. He played some key minutes in the win on Sunday, but is not dressed for the game tonight.
And Sandage, it's not only it's his back, obviously, that continues to bother him, but also his calf. And so they're trying to figure out with the specialist what could be causing all that so that he can consistently see playing time and get back to the court.
Jace Carter, Christian Jones, Trey Anderson, Philip Scoball, and Toby Okani, the starting 5 for the UIC Flames. Illinois State wearing gray uniforms tonight, and the Flames of UIC wearing their blue road uniforms, and we're underway as the Redbirds get the opening tip, and it's basketball here in Normal on the campus of Illinois State University. Kendall Lewis off a nice feed. He rolled it in.
A Great play set. Kendall Lewis off that curl into the basket, and great to get his confidence going right out of the gates. He's done a nice job the last couple games finishing at the rim.
Lewis also with a big game against Southern Illinois, and really a good week last week, just like Seneca Knight. He had a big game in Peoria against Bradley.
Coming off a double performance.
This is Okani's first shot. Back of the rim, no good. The rebound is controlled by Lewis. Okani, one of two transfers in this lineup. He played at Duquesne and now playing in Chicago for the Flames. Christian Jones is one of the freshmen that you mentioned in this lineup, getting a lot of minutes. Trey Anderson is that other transfer from Idaho and San Francisco. And there's a baseline jumper, and Seneca Knight kind of picks up where he left off on Sunday.
And Knight taking full advantage. UIC had switched defensively off that screen. Knight able to get around the slower SCO ball, get the fadeaway.
Good start for the Redbirds as they've cashed in on their first two offensive possessions. It's going to be a travel violation and a turnover. That's against Jace Carter.
For UIC, they need to get off to a fast start. That was a part of the issue in that game against Bradley. They had spurts where they played with a lot of urgency, but then there were times where Bradley would go on big runs.
Yeah, the Flames had an early lead Sunday against the Braves, and then Bradley started shooting the three, and that changed the game, and Seneca Knight knocks down a three.
And you can bet, too, even going back to the last meeting between these teams, end of December, Flames got off to a really fast start, so you can bet Illinois State remembers that.
A 7-zip run to open the game for Illinois State. Okani had the ball knocked out of his hands, and it's out of bounds, and it's going right back to the Redbirds.
Just great help defense there on that rotation by Kendall Lewis, digging over to force Anderson to pick up that dribble.
Really good start on both ends of the floor for the Redbirds, offensively and defensively.
And you wondered how this Redbird team was going to respond from that huge win over SIU.
Kasubke with it now on the wing. Looks inside but stays outside with 7 on the shot clock. Now it's Malachi Poindexter. His three from the corner is long, and it's controlled by the Flames. Jones tries to penetrate. His shot, a well-defended shot.
Illinois State doing a nice job getting back in transition defense, making Jones take a contested shot in the lane.
McChesney tried to create on the baseline, but Scoball wouldn't let him get into position. Now he'll try a three from the corner. Long rebound goes out, and it's a scrum for it, and it looks like it'll be a held ball possession in favor of the Flames, but Ryan Peden is clapping. He likes the hustle for the Redbirds.
Great effort by Illinois State trying to run down that long rebound off that three-pointer, and that was a point of emphasis for head coach Luke Yaklich, is that UIC, they had to do a one and done on the boards against this Illinois State team who can offensive rebound.
Flames still looking for their first points. This is Scoball. His jumper rims out, and Lewis with another rebound. Redbirds were really never in a rhythm in the game in Chicago back on the 28th of December. This is a much different start for the Redbirds. And now another three. Malachi Poindexter from right in front of the UIC bench.
Really nice job. Liam McChesney, man, to come over to help on that double. Poindexter left all alone. McChesney doing a nice job finding him on that pass.
And it's a 10-0 run to open the game for Illinois State. Okani down the lane. He can't get that to go. Third rebound in the opening minutes for Lewis already.
Illinois State defensive, they're doing a nice job really contesting anything that comes in the paint.
Seneca Knight. Long rebound to the Flames. This is Anderson. He gives it up, and we may have an offensive foul, and we do. Christian Jones is called for it, and the Redbird D is pitching a shutout 4.5 minutes into this game.
Really good hustle. Luke Kasubke hustling back, setting his feet outside the restricted area to put himself in position to take that charge.
10-0 Illinois State to start the game here in Normal. Good start for the Illinois State Redbirds. They've run out to a 10-zip lead on UIC. Kelly, what are the keys here for the ball game?
For UIC, transition defense going to be really important. That's an area they've struggled with in their games and their losses, and they have to play with urgency, especially out of the gates against this Illinois State team coming off a big win. For the Redbirds, three-point defense. UIC takes the most three-point attempts of any team in the Valley, and they have to make Jace Carter work, and they've done a good job of that so far. Carter, I don't even believe he hasn't even had a shot attempt so far.
Yeah, the Flames only 4 attempts from the floor here in the first 4.5 minutes, and Illinois State out to a 10-0 lead. So a much different start for the Redbirds. In the game in Chicago, ISU shot just 36% from the floor, 17% from beyond the arc, and we're just 55% from the line, and the Redbirds are an 80% free throw shooting team.
Illinois State, in that game, they dug themselves a huge early hole in Chicago, and the Flames play really well at home. They've struggled a lot on the road this year.
And Seneca Knight will get to the free throw line.
Knight continues to do a good job getting downhill, playing through contact, and he is getting to the free throw line at such a high clip on this Redbirds team.
Knight, the Missouri Valley Conference newcomer of the week last week after averaging 20.5 points a game in those wins, that win against Southern and that overtime game against Bradley. It was a big, big week for him.
Shot 65% from the field, 80% from three.
Here's Jace Carter. He's still looking for his first points, as are the Flames.
A good contest there by Kasubke. Flying out at Carter, putting a hand in his face. Now here's the mismatch. Scoble on Kasubke. They switch back.
They look inside to Knight on a double team around a defender. He flipped it up but couldn't finish. Ball is out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Redbirds.
That's where Knight is so tough because he's such a physical guard. He'll win those matchups if you can post him up on the block, not afraid of contact.
Haruna Sissoko in the game now for the Redbirds in place of Liam McChesney. He sets the screen for Poindexter, then rolls off of it and flips it in.
Sissoko doing a nice job off that roll, calling for the basketball, putting out a big target, and recollecting himself in the lane.
He had a big basket down the stretch in Sunday's win, and Ryan Peden brought that up in the post-game news conference, and that was a big, big basket. And there's the first basket of the game for the Flames. It comes from Trey Anderson at about the 14-minute mark.
And Anderson doing a nice job. Just the explosive speed on that cut to get downhill ahead of his defender.
Redbirds again looking inside, 4 on the shot clock, and Seneca Knight's going to be called for an offensive foul. Illinois State grad Luke Yaklich back home. He went to school here, a class of 1998 graduate, former Illinois State assistant coach under Dan Muller. He's in his 3rd year with the Flames, and a very popular guy here. He was talking to a lot of people before the game. This is his return home. He'd love to come back to Normal and get a win.
He was joking with me. He had to remember to go in the visiting locker room.
Yeah. So many good memories for him at Redbird Arena. Now he comes in as a head coach of the visiting team, and there's another nice move from Anderson, and back-to-back hoops now for the Flames.
Anderson doing a really nice job taking advantage of the mismatch, had the slower Sissoko on him, and got downhill around him.
Experienced player, grad school student. He's played in better than 100 games now in his career. Darius Burford in the game for the first time, and he's wearing that mask. Shot is missed from the outside. Again, it's a temporary mask that he's wearing after that orbital fracture late last week. But good to see him back. He missed Sunday's game. And now the Flames have 3 consecutive field goals. There's Carter's first make, and it comes from three-point land. And the Flames have run off 7 straight.
And Carter, you have to have a hand in his face and be real close to him because he can really hit that deep 3 ball.
Kasubke now all the way down, and he has a nice little finger rolling in.
You can just see Luke Kasubke's confidence building in these last couple of games. He's been really aggressive, not only normally a three-point shooter, but even off the bounce.
Starting tonight for the 8th consecutive game, he had a 5.6 rebound game against UIC in Chicago in December.
And Scobell, he needed to recognize he had Poindexter switched onto him, had a huge size advantage.
Now Poindexter tried to have a bounce pass to Kendall Lewis, and they just had some miscommunication, and it's a turnover. The ball will go back to UIC. The Flames will have it when we return. It's a 15-7 lead for Illinois State here at CEFCU Arena. '27th all-time meeting between Illinois State and UIC. The Redbirds have a 15-7 lead to start this one. The Redbirds have really controlled this series in normal. They have a 13-2 edge here and an 18-8 edge overall, but UIC has won 2 of the last 3, including the first matchup between these two teams as conference rivals when the Flames won in Chicago on the 28th of December, 55-51.
And the Flames, their only conference win right now against Illinois State, so looking to get some more momentum here in the month of February because UIC, they've been in a number of close games in league play.
Get a good look at Ryan Peden in his first season with the Redbirds, the former assistant coach at Ohio State and at Illinois and at Butler, and trying to, again, rebuild a program here that he thinks is as he said, can get its swagger back, is what he said in his introductory news conference. Here's Carter's going to try another 3.
Got a good look. Kasubke right there, hand in his face.
See how Darius Burford plays with that temporary mask on. And there's a steal. It's a good defense that time from Carter. He denied the pass into Lewis. He gives it up to Jackson. A reverse layup is in, and so Jalen Jackson in the scorebook, he's in the game and he scores.
And Jackson, he's always looking to attack the paint and will play through contact, which is really impressive because he's only a freshman.
And coming off a 15-point performance on Sunday against Bradley, a career high. Seneca Knight was stopped in the paint. Now it's Burford. He's going to try to create. His jumper is in, and his first shot of the night goes down.
Well, Burford, mask on, no problem. Making it look easy like his normal self there in the paint on that turnaround.
He's a gamer. It just killed him not to be able to play on Sunday.
Well, and he told Coach Peden, look, I will be back. It won't be long.
Rejection from Lewis. He just swatted Jalen Jackson's shot out of there. Still 8 seconds on the shot clock now. Jackson again inside, and this time draws contact.
Jackson, he just has such good off-ball movement and instincts for a freshman, cutting over to bail out Trey Anderson, who had picked up his dribble on the baseline.
Yeah, you mentioned him being one of the key freshmen on this team. He plays about 22 minutes a game as you get another look at the foul that he drew here on Seneca Knight, and he's going to get to the free throw line.
Jackson has done a really nice job, too, as of late, getting himself to the free throw line at a high clip.
Malcolm Miller is in the ball game for Illinois State. We haven't seen him in a very long time at a game. We're also seeing Cameron Fens now, another one of those UIC freshmen. He enters the game now for the Flames. Illinois State ran out to a 13-0 lead, but has been outscored 10-4 since that stretch, so it's a 17-10 Redbird advantage as we approach the halfway mark of this first half. We got a foul against the Redbirds.
Going to be an illegal screen, I believe. And after starting the game, no turnovers, Illinois State had a couple here in this last 2 media timeout stretch.
Anderson nearly had a three-point opportunity there. The ball rolled off the rim, but he'll get to the free throw line.
Anderson, so explosive. He has such speed attacking the paint. And off the switch here, Kasubke gets behind him, gets sandwiched between two defenders.
It seems like the Flames, after that first 4-minute stretch, have a different kind of purpose. They've certainly, coming out of that first media timeout, are playing with a lot more purpose here.
Well, and that's sort of been the challenge with such a young team, is playing consistent stretches where you are locked and focused in at all times.
I mentioned that Malcolm Miller, we hadn't seen him in a long time. This is actually his first appearance on the floor all season. That's him with a basketball. Alex Kodoff in the game. That's him, number 25. Now it's Poindexter trying to get around to screen. This is Burford with 7 on the shot clock. Burford gets it back after losing it. That's going to be a foul against the Flames. That'll go against Chase Carter.
Illinois State, they're going to have to make that adjustment. Any ball thrown to whoever Carter is guarding, it's going to have to be a very crisp pass because he has such active hands. Nearly stole that.
So the Redbirds with Poindexter, Lewis, Kodoff, Miller, and Burford on the floor right now. And that's going to be a foul at the perimeter. That's going to go against Cameron Fens, freshman from Hempstead High School in Dubuque, Iowa.
Fens had been coming out quite a bit to hedge on those ball screens. Just got a little bit too aggressive that time.
Fens was a starter for the first part of the season up until the first meeting between these two teams, and he's been kind of in a reserve role ever since, but he's, again, one of those key freshmen that they think can really grow with the program.
And part of that is because Skobal has been shooting the 3 ball really well and can stretch the floor at that 4 spot.
Burford knocks down the open look.
Good sign for Darius Burford. Mass doesn't matter.
Yeah, he had 10 points in the first matchup between these two. He averages a little over 11 a game, and he's given the Redbirds a 9-point advantage. Fens had his pass deflected. It's off of the Flames, so the Redbirds are going to get it back.
A lucky break for Illinois State because Clay had actually had his man beat on that little curl. Here comes a trap.
Yep, and Poindexter gets it away to Burford, and he's fouled by O'Connor.
And UIC, all of a sudden, they have picked up a number of fouls. Not in the bonus yet, still 2 away, but 3 fouls in the last couple of possessions down the floor.
It looks like in their effort to kind of speed up the Redbirds, instead they've picked up some fouls here in the half-court defense. Redbirds go inside. It's Kendall Lewis, and he's fouled on the pump fake.
Lewis doing a nice job getting the freshman Cameron Fens off his feet on that pump fake to be able to draw the foul.
And Fens picked up his second foul there. Bing, bing. In about a minute there, he picked up 2 fouls.
Watch all the blue jerseys come over to help out. Jones going for the block. Fens gets in the air, though. Kendall Lewis, he's been phenomenal at the free throw line in conference play. Perfect 25 for 25. And right on cue, I guess. I feel like that always happens. The announcer jinx.
Yeah,
I almost didn't say it, too.
The Redbirds have really cleaned up at the foul line this year. They were huge in that game on Sunday. 17 of 18 makes from the free throw line in the Sunday win over the Salukis. So that's been a strong point for Illinois State this season.
It's a big stat that Illinois State coaches look at.
And another foul against Cameron Fens. He's picked up 3 fouls here in about 2 minutes.
And Fens, it's just as a freshman, it's learning that body control on both ends of the floor. A little bit too aggressive on the defensive end. Then on the offensive, going to his post moves. And he's going to have to take a seat on the bench as a result.
And that is the 7th foul now on UIC. So the Redbirds are staring down the barrel of free throws the rest of this first half, as they're in the bonus already.
And there's still 8 minutes left in this first half, so that's a huge advantage for Illinois State, who's top 3 nationally in free throw percentage at over 80%.
Burford's going to dial up a 3. Now a 3 on the other side. That's Stephen Clay, who's in the game for the first time, but a nice save, but the Redbirds get it back. It looked like Skobal was going to save it and keep the possession alive for UIC, but instead Illinois State comes away with it. Lewis going to work on Skobal on the baseline.
The ball movement has been superb for Illinois State. Great backdoor cut.
Burford works the baseline.
That was pretty. Great off-ball movement, backdoor cut by Burford, and great find by Liam McChesney, who has 3 assists already.
6 points in the opening half for Darius Burford.
Illinois State's offense is just playing with so much more purpose, and you can see it even in the cuts, just how deliberate the cuts and screens are.
Now Burford, a little shake and bake, but the ball is off his knee. Good defense. Here's the quick hands of Jace Carter, and the Flames will get it back. 6:31 to play, first half. Redbirds have a 12-point advantage on UIC here at CEFCU Arena. Illinois State with a 22-10 lead at home here over UIC. Darius Burford is back for the Redbirds. He's wearing a mask, but he's 3 of 4 from the field and seems to be pretty comfortable out there.
Yeah, Burford making all kinds of impact right now. Normally there's a depth perception issue when you adjust to having to wear a mask on your face. No issues right now for Burford. Already 6 points in this game. Great backdoor cut. And when I talked to Coach Payton earlier today, he said Burford was floored to get back on the court. He had no issue so far with that mask. And he's going to still transition to a more fitted mask, but this is the temporary one, and he was ready to go.
He hasn't missed a beat, and he's helped the Redbirds to a 12-point advantage here. Three ball is up and in. A good look for Trey Anderson. He's had a nice first half.
Anderson has been by far UIC's best player on the court right now. First doing it attacking the paint, but now starting to heat up from distance.
3 of 3 from the floor. He's got 7 points to lead UIC. 7 of his team's 13. Redbirds tried to flip it down to Kendall Lewis, but it was knocked out of bounds.
Connie doing a nice job on that backside help, knocking that ball loose, breaking that pass up.
Illinois State shooting 60% here in the first half. Now it's going to be a catch and shoot off the inbounds from Kasubke, but he can't knock down the 3. Another 3. That one is missed, but kept alive. Brownell's in the game for the first time. He gets an offensive rebound after the miss from Carter.
That's a shot by O'Connie. Coach Yakush, he'd like him to put the ball on the floor and really attack the paint.
McChesney's going to try a 3. I'm not sure that the Redbirds like that selection because Sissoko's at the scores table. He's probably coming to get McChesney.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. There's another make from the outside from Anderson.
Anderson right now, he's forcing Illinois State to guard him up in his grill outside the three-point line because he's scoring both in the paint but now from distance.
He made 6 3-pointers in a game earlier this year against Northern Iowa, so he definitely can score from the perimeter, and he's got 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting here in the first half.
And Anderson doing a nice job, too. He's recognizing he's in a rhythm and that if you give him any inch of space as a defender, he's going to take advantage and he will take that shot.
So it hasn't been Jace Carter. It's been Trey Anderson doing the damage for UIC, and they've needed something because the way the Redbirds started this game, they had the Flames on their heels in the first 4 minutes of this game.
And you would expect Anderson is one of the few veteran players on this UIC team, so he's taking matters into his own hands to try and get this offense going.
He's pulled UIC within 6 here, under 5 minutes to play here in the opening half. Lewis backs in, offensive foul. Brownell has given the Flames a couple of nice minutes here. One on the offensive end with a rebound, and here on the defensive end taking a charge.
Nice lift off the bench.
Yeah, Jaden Brownell, a freshman from Sandy, Utah. Another first-year player. Yeah, 5 freshmen and a sophomore, kind of the core of this UIC club. Now we're going to get an offensive foul against Jace Carter.
And the officials right now, they're calling a lot of offensive fouls. So both teams, that's an adjustment they have to make on the defensive end of the floor.
And that's the second on Carter. Seneca Knight. His 3 is in. He got a good look from the wing.
And the net right now in the basket looks about 10 feet wide for Seneca Knight. Everything dropping.
His second 3-point make of the game. He's got 9 coming off that 24-point game Sunday against league leader Southern Illinois. Flames a little bit out of sync here, but it's a 25-16 Illinois State lead. 3:45 to go here until halftime. (25-16) Illinois State leads UIC here at Sefke Arena. The Missouri Valley Conference is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the passage of Title IX legislation. Throughout this academic year, the Valley is honoring pioneers from league institutions who paved the way for current and future student athletes. To learn more about the conference's Title IX recognition plans, visit mvc-sports.com/Title IX 50. Today's National Women and Girls in Sports Day, too. So my broadcast partner is a former collegiate track athlete, so I know you love the fact that National Women and Girls Sports Day is a thing and that Title IX is being celebrated.
I was a three-sport athlete in high school. Obviously played hoops, too, and so sports is my first love. It's given me a lot of opportunities in my life.
Yeah, great to see all those advancements for young ladies playing sports and women and Title IX as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of that legislation. 3.5 minutes to go here in this first half. This is Kendall Lewis from the outside. His 3 rims out, but it's Kasubke with an offensive rebound. And the ball squirted away from Burford, and Toby Okani comes away with it.
I believe Jones broke that up defensively. Well, UIC, they have to take advantage because Carter's on the bench with 2 fouls, so they have to find their offense in other places. Look for Trey Anderson and Okani to get going.
He works on Sissoko. His shot is short and cleared by Lewis.
Okani, he has to be a factor in this game. Scoreless right now. He was a big difference maker in that first meeting in Chicago.
Kasubke from the corner.
And Luke Kasubke shooting the ball with so much more confidence. Illinois State has done a really nice job finding him on the extra pass.
That's his first three-pointer of the game. He hit a season-high 4 of them. 4 three-pointers in Sunday's win over Southern Illinois. Another three from the outside. Trey Anderson is really feeling it.
And Anderson, he's taking advantage too. Sissoko had switched on to him, and he likes that. That's the second time he's hit a three-pointer with Sissoko sagging off him a little bit.
He is a perfect 5 for 5 from the floor, and his 13 points leads UIC. Here's Burford in the lane.
Burford doing a really nice job. He just gets to that sweet spot in the lane, good patience, lets his defender leave his feet, gets the exact shot he wants.
Anderson works on Sissoko again and draws a foul on Haruna Sissoko. And to the free throw line goes Trey Anderson.
Illinois State is going to have to come up with a different person to guard Anderson, because right now Sissoko, he's just going right around him with that explosive first step.
He had his string of 6 straight double-digit scoring games snapped on Sunday, but he is right back at it here tonight.
Anderson, he has been dialed in from the opening tip, 5 of 5 from the field right now. And Redbird, so they put length on him defensively, but you have to counter with the speed because Anderson's taking full advantage.
That's going to be an over-the-back call against Okani on the rebound. So the Redbirds are going to walk down the other end of the floor and shoot some free throws here with 97 seconds remaining. This game feels like Illinois State should be up by like 15, 16, 17 points.
Certainly.
And it's just a 10-point game. I mean,
credit a lot of that to Anderson.
Yeah.
He's literally been the offense for UIC.
The Flames have just hung around, and
he's got 14 of their 20 points.
Malcolm Miller is coming back in the game. Again, he made his first appearance of the season early in the half and is back on the floor now.
And I know Jace Carter has been such a focal point defensively, and even Scoball, his ability to shoot the threes, but Anderson is going to have to get a lot of defensive attention, especially in the second half. Just even limiting his touches.
Jackson one-on-one. He gives it up on the baseline and gets it back. He works on McChesney. His shot is up and no good. Kendall Lewis with his 6th rebound in the first half.
Lewis, he just does all the little hustle play things that you don't always notice on the stat sheet that make a huge difference.
Under a minute to play here in the half. Burford to Poindexter with 4 on the shot clock. Nice pass down to Lewis. He can't get it to go, though. And we've got a foul after the missed shot. And it's going to go against UIC.
And Lewis, he just got a little bit deep to be able to go off the backboard. Misjudged that angle.
An excellent entry pass from Poindexter, who looked like he was eyeing the 3, but instead...
Well, he realized all of a sudden he had 2 UIC defenders on him. Somebody had to be open, and then noticed Lewis all alone under the basket.
Malcolm Miller trying to score his first point of the season here at the free throw line. And the redshirt junior from Shelbyville, Illinois, has his first point of the season. Anderson to Clay, but he's fouled on the base. No, he stepped on the baseline.
And it's a break for Illinois State because UIC got exactly what they wanted on that sequence. They wanted Illinois State to switch defensively onto Anderson. There was a mismatch with McChesney guarding Anderson.
About an 8-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here. Redbird seemed content to run this thing down. Poindexter all the way down, and it was blocked coming over to get it with Stephen Clay, and now the Flames back in transition. Clay gets it as he trailed the play. It's Burford with a rebound, but it's stripped and laid in from Jaden Brownell.
Yeah, Brownell just ripped that ball away from Darius Burford.
And that'll end our half. Illinois State with an 11-point halftime lead. It's 33-22. The Redbirds lead the Flames of UIC. Our halftime report is next here on Marquee. And UIC 22 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Kurt Pegler, Kelly Burke, and our Redbird production crew with you here. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the opening half. The Redbirds jumped out to a 13-0 lead, and they had it in cruise control, but you knew that UIC was going to make some sort of a run at them.
Illinois State did a really nice job early in that first half of getting high percentage looks in the paint, and then Seneca Knight, once the paint opened up, also hitting a couple of three-pointers as Knight leading all scorers for the Redbirds. But UIC, they did a nice job clogging up the paint as the half went on. Darius Burford, another bright spot for Illinois State, 8 points, everything going for him. Great backdoor cut. Flames, their offense, it was all Trey Anderson. And he is 5 of 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. So Illinois State defensively, they may need to consider face guarding him in the second half because he's been taking contested threes and nothing but net in that first half.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 from the field for 14 points to lead UIC. Illinois State's leading scorer is Seneca Knight, 3 of 5 from the field. He's got 9 points. The Redbirds right now out-rebounding the Flames and have nearly 2-1 advantage in assists, but about even in turnovers. And like we said, it almost felt like the Redbirds could have about an 18-point lead, and it just never got to that point.
Felt like in the second part of that first half there were some missed opportunities by Illinois State. Some of it was because of turnovers, and then some of it was because UIC started clogging up the paint defensively. Trey Anderson got hot for the Flames. Illinois State overall, they're doing a nice job sharing the ball, 9 assists on 12 made baskets, but that aggressiveness they came out with offensively, they need to refine that early in the second half.
Illinois State had 2 13-point leads. They opened the game on a 13-0 run, and then with about 30 seconds to go in the half, they had a 13-point lead, but it's an 11-point advantage right now as the Redbirds lead 33-22 at the half, and our halftime report will continue from Sefke Arena here on Marquee. UIC 33-22. The Redbirds will have possession to begin the second half. Again, Illinois State wearing gray uniforms here, and the UIC Flames in their road blues, and we are underway to begin this second 20 minutes of action.
Illinois State, they want to try and post up Kendall Lewis.
Seven to shoot. It's Kasubke with 4 on the shot clock. He tries to create off the glass. It's no good. Good defense that time by Christian Jones. He's back up into the front court. His shot is off the glass and no good.
Nice job, Illinois State, getting back that transition defense to put some pressure on Jones and contest.
We'll see how long it takes the Flames to get Jace Carter going. The team's leading scorer at better than 16 points per game, held to 3 points in that opening half. He was in foul trouble.
Just 1 of 4 from the field. Lob pass into Lewis.
Lewis had the ball knocked out of his hands. There's 2 seconds remaining here on the shot clock.
And then Okani 0 for 5. He's scoreless. So your 2 top players for the Flames, 1 of 9 from the field.
Redbirds aren't going to be able to get a shot, it looks like, but alertly, Seneca Knight tried to throw that ball off of Carter, not out of bounds, but it's a shot clock violation.
Good defensive stand for UIC. Second half has been a focus for them because of the depth issues, and just at times they've lost focus in that second half.
Catch and shoot 3 that time is no good from Skobal. The Redbirds on the attack now. Knight penetrates, had the ball knocked out of his hands, and so the Flames come away with another stop. Otani down the lane, and it's going to be a whistle before he was able to take it to the rim.
UIC right now defensively, they're doing a nice job. The help defense in the lane, active hands, breaking up the passes and driving lanes for Illinois State, who had so much success early in that first half, as Otani playing into the contact, but the whistle coming before he was able to get the shot attempt up.
Anderson had the hot hand in the first half, and he continues here in the opening minutes of the second.
And Anderson taking advantage. Lewis had sagged off him just enough to be able to help on a potential driving lane of Christian Jones. Gave Anderson just enough space.
He's still perfect from the floor, 6 of 6, and he's got 17 points to lead the Flames. Now Kendall Lewis is going to try a three, and he answers.
Lewis on the pick and pop. The give from Kasubke.
Lewis just a 22% shooter from beyond the arc, but he doesn't mind shooting that three.
No, he doesn't, and it's been an emphasis from Coach Pedon to, if you're Lewis, take it. If you have a straight line drive to the basket, to take it.
Anderson's going to get right back to the free throw line. He has been the aggressor tonight for UIC.
Anderson is really what has kept the Flames in this game, and so tough as he gets downhill around Liam McChesney.
We mentioned earlier that he's now played in over 100 games in his career, which started at San Francisco. Also played at Iowa. He's a guy that has better than 800 career points and 200 assists. He's just been just a solid player. A nice pickup for UIC here in the transfer portal.
And as a veteran player, too, he's been a real steadying force for this really youthful Flames roster.
And the grad school student from Tacoma, Washington, splits the free throws. He pulls his team within 10. He's got 18 points on the game.
Look for Illinois State to try and go in the high-low.
McChesney works on Anderson. He's double-teamed. Maybe a bench warning on Luke Yaklich. Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little surprised because I didn't really think he was that far from his coaching box.
Yeah. You know, the officials working tonight's game, Ray Natilli, Craig Murley, and Chance Moore.
The game is being called pretty closely.
Very tightly. Kasubke, his three is in. Big sequence for the Redbirds.
Huge sequence. And Kasubke continues to shoot the three ball with a ton of confidence.
And now a timeout called by Luke Yaklich. He wasn't happy with Otani, who didn't step out defensively on Yaklich. We'll step aside. 16:53 to go in regulation. The Redbirds lead by 13. 39-26, a 13-point lead for Illinois State matches its biggest lead of the game. We mentioned that Luke Yaklich, it's a homecoming for the UIC head coach. It's also a homecoming for that guy, Madison Williams. He's on the end of the bench there. A former Redbird player is on that UIC staff. He was a player for the Redbirds when Luke Yaklich was on Dan Muller's staff. Also, assistant coach Will Veasley is a former Illinois State basketball staff member. So the Flames have their fair share of Redbird blood in that coaching staff.
All kinds of Redbird connections.
So a homecoming game in many ways for a good portion of that staff.
Kasubke's done a really nice job guarding Jace Carter, limiting just even the touches he's getting right now.
Anderson threw it right to Coach Yaklich.
That's a killer, too, and that's one of those turnovers, if you're Coach Yaklich, that you are pulling your hair out, coming out of a timeout to have a turnover right away.
Redbirds keeping their original starting unit on the floor here. This is Knight with it. He's going to try a three from the top of the circle, and it bounces off the rim and the backboard, and it's cleared by the Flames. Trey Anderson is just scorching hot.
And at some point, if you're Illinois State, you have to make that adjustment, and you have to guard him beyond the three-point line.
21 points on 7 of 7 shooting from the floor. And as you've mentioned, he is really keeping UIC
You have to be right
in this game.
up in his, at this point, you need to almost face guard Anderson because he has not missed.
6 to shoot for Illinois State. This is Poindexter trying to create 3 on the shot clock. He lost the ball. He's going to have to throw up it, and it's out of bounds. It's going to go back to UIC. So the Redbirds have had a pair of shot clock violations here in the second half. And now the Redbirds want to talk things over. 39-29, the lead for Illinois State with 15:37 to go. To believe we're 1 month away.
Crazy.
From Arch Madness.
And we have no idea how the seeding is going to play out.
And I think it's going to be that way all the way to the last week of the season when we're going to have all kinds of possibilities who's going to play who in St. Louis. Should be a fun week. Redbirds are still shooting it at 50%, and there's a nice move to the basket from Jace Carter.
Carter using that quick first step to get around Kasubke, get the angle he wanted with the left hand.
Carter with just his second field goal of the game. He's got 5 points. We got a whistle away from play. The Redbirds did a nice job on him in the game at UIC earlier in the year. They held him to 9 points. And on 3 of 13 shooting, so the Redbirds, for whatever reason, have been able to kind of slow him down.
And Carter, he's been so good over the last 6, averaging 22 points per game. Or excuse me, the last 2, he's averaged 22 points per game. But he's been really good over even the last 6 games.
Liam McChesney bounces out for a 3. He can't get it to go. Ball's on the floor. It's McChesney who gets it back. He followed up his shot with a miss. He got it back again.
He's got to get the ball up in the air.
And a foul. Well, that sequence was all about Liam McChesney.
It certainly was. And down near that ground, all those guards trying to get their hands on it.
Yeah, you're right. When you're 6'10",
you have to bring it above your head because you bring it down and guards are feasting on that ball.
Seneca Knight.
Carter doing a nice job just taking away the paint look that Knight wanted.
Yeah, really making Knight work for it. 8 seconds on the shot clock here.
Well, they say they've had to settle for so many outside shots.
Kasubke to Kendall Lewis.
Tough angle. Lewis trying to shoot over Oconee in his length.
Jackson guarded by Poindexter. Now it's Brownell by Kasubke on the switch. It's Anderson down the lane, up and in again, and Trey Anderson remains perfect from the floor, and he's got a chance for a 3-point play.
And Anderson has been impossible to guard tonight because he's hit everything from distance, but then he gets downhill so quickly with the explosive speed, he's able to get around Kasubke, and all Kasubke can do is foul.
We talked at the top of the broadcast that UIC has one of the top young players in the league in Jace Carter, but they've also got a pretty good freshman, class, and then this guy to teach them.
The grad transfer,
yeah, Anderson is putting on a show here, and that young bench can really learn a lot from watching his game.
Absolutely. He's a good distributor as well, but tonight he's had to carry the load offensively.
.24 points for Trey Anderson now. It's a 5-point game.
Watch Jackson face guarding Darius Burford, not even letting him get the basketball.
Good defense that time. Oconee comes away with it as he stripped Knight, who then fouled him.
Illinois State offensively, they're getting really frustrated by the defense UIC is playing right now, denying entry passes to the guards. They're taking away any paint touches.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating couple of moments here for the Redbird offense as UIC has clawed back once down 13, within 5 now at 39-34.
And they're trying to get Anderson again on this curl. First miss finally.
Now it's Knight attacking. He flipped it up, and he's going to be called for an offensive foul.
They tagged Knight because he lowered his shoulder into Carter, and that's a huge point of emphasis this year. If the offensive player initiates the contact lowering the shoulder, they will make the call.
So Knight to the Redbird bench because that's foul number 4. Here's another look at it.
See the shoulder lowered and right into Carter initiating the contact. That's why that foul was called.
Okani now works on Kasubke. His short shot is short. Redbirds get a stop. They really needed a stop there, and now they need a basket to kind of stem the tide. McChesney.
Illinois State right now, they're settling for outside shots. They're getting nothing in the paint. It's made them really one-dimensional and a lot easier to guard.
And Darius Burford is in the game now, replacing Seneca Knight. We'll see if the Redbirds go to him. But it's a 3 from the corner that's missed by Jalen Jackson, and the ball is out of bounds, and the Flames will maintain possession. Yeah, ever so slowly, the pendulum of momentum seems to be in the corner of the Flames right now.
For Illinois State, what it really needs to start on the defensive end of the floor. We saw that against SIU. That's where the game turned, is they were able to generate momentum from the defensive end to the offense.
Anderson one-on-one and a kick out. Okani on the baseline. Back to Anderson with 7 on the shot clock.
Anderson trying to take advantage of the switch to Lewis.
2 to shoot. Jackson didn't get it off. The Redbirds flip the switch on UIC this time and get a shot clock violation.
Good defensive stand, exactly what Illinois State needed to do. Generate some momentum on the defensive end. Now go turn it into points offensively.
Redbirds are scoreless for the last 5 minutes. And now another call against the Redbirds as Lewis ran over Jalen Jackson. And we've got an official's timeout. The Flames of UIC have yet to be burned out here. They're within 5 of the ISU Redbirds, 39-34. 39-34, Illinois State leads UIC here at Sefcu Arena with 11:57 to go in regulation. Kurt Pegler, Kelly Burke with you, and our Redbird production crew. The Redbirds are scoreless for the last 5 minutes and 6 seconds. They've hit a roadblock here.
They have 4 turnovers in that stretch, 8-0 UIC run. And part of the issue, so called for a moving screen, Kendall Lewis, so another turnover for Illinois State. But this game, on both ends of the floor, is being called so tightly. Both of these teams have to make the adjustment, especially on the offensive end. It's really hurt Illinois State. Seneca Knight, you could see him frustrated over on the bench. He got called for an offensive foul. He likes a very physical game, suits his style of play. Same thing with Kendall Lewis. And that's an adjustment here in the final 12 minutes Redbirds have to make.
And with 4 fouls, Knight is likely to be on the bench for a little bit longer before he'll re-enter the game. Carter tries to penetrate. He does, and he's going to get to the free throw line as he draws contact on Sissoko.
Good defense there by Kasubke, being able to cut off Carter, but then Sissoko came over to help and then ended up in the air off his feet. That's what the foul was called on. Right here, you see Sissoko jump number 23 Gray into the air, gets him with a body.
Carter, a year ago as a freshman, this is when the Flames were a part of the Horizon League, was an all-freshman selection in that conference. He averaged just 8 points and 5 rebounds a game. He's doubled his point total as a sophomore.
The difference, it all started in the summer. He took 20,000 shots this offseason in the summer, and you're seeing the improvement now and the consistency more than anything on the offensive end.
He's gone from an 8-point per game guy to a 16-point per game guy.
Sissoko trying to establish position in the paint.
Kendall Lewis with a flip out now to Poindexter. Thought about the 3, stepped inside the arc. Now it's Kasubke for an open 3, and he's fouled on the 3-point shot by Trey Anderson. And Luke Kasubke will go to the free throw line.
One of the better offensive possessions we've seen from Illinois State in this second half. They attacked the paint, got the kick out a couple times to open threes, and Kasubke, the cardinal sin as a basketball player, don't foul the three-point shooter. Anderson just nicks him on the arm.
Well, that point breaks a 5-minute and 46-second scoring drought for the Redbirds. They needed to get some points somehow, some way, and Kasubke's got a chance to make it a 3-point trip down the floor.
A huge change in momentum here for Illinois State, who, again, is so good at the free throw line, too, as a team.
So Kasubke, the junior from St. Louis, cashes in on all 3 free throws, and the Redbirds have an 8-point advantage. Now Carter works on Kasubke.
Just
takes
good
him to
defense.
the paint.
Great defense there by Kasubke.
Now it's Anderson fouled on a 3-point play, and he's got a chance to make it a 4-point opportunity.
Speaking of cardinal sins, and of all people to foul at the three-point line, you don't want to foul Anderson. Trying to close out, Sissoko, again, got his arm.
Luke Yaklich, the UIC head coach, just pointed at Anderson after he knocked that one down. What a night for this guy. He doesn't make the free throw, but he's got 27 points on 9 of 10 shooting from the floor.
Free throw line is the only place Anderson struggled. He's 3 of 8 from the line, but 90% from the field.
The Redbirds are going to have to find a way to slow him down in these final 10 and a half minutes. Seven on the shot clock. Poindexter with a kick out. Now it's Kasubke. Thought about the 3, stepped inside the arc and missed it, and yet another shot clock violation.
And Poindexter has to do a better job looking for his shot. He had his man beat on the baseline. Help defender comes over, but he still had a decent look at the basket in the paint. He needs to take that shot.
Credit UIC. They've turned it up defensively on the Redbirds.
Absolutely.
Anderson again, he's feeling it. Off the glass, but that one won't go in.
Luke Kasubke, he's playing some really good defense right now.
Now Burford, a little pump fake. He takes it to the rim and then goes up and under.
Burford so comfortable on that baseline. No matter what angle he has, reverse, mask, no problem.
Double-digit night for Darius Burford. Give him 10 points.
Illinois State, they have to try and get him the basketball more. That was his first shot attempt of the second half.
Difficult shot from Jace Carter, and he made that one go down. Now Burford from the top of the circle with Carter on him.
I like that Illinois State's trying to run some plays for Burford.
Anderson. Ball on the floor, and the Redbirds come away with it, and it's a backcourt foul. It's going to go against UIC Stephen Clay.
That was a foul, though. I think Clay actually got Kasubke on the neck. I know the UIC coaches are, but watch this. Or excuse me, Poindexter. Clay grabs his shoulder. It's a foul.
Yeah, it looked like right now what Luke Yaklich is saying was perhaps on the drive to the basket there was a foul before the rebound came out. Nonetheless, it's Illinois State basketball as we approach the 9-minute mark left in this one. Burford works on Jackson to the baseline, and his shot is in, and Darius Burford has come to play tonight.
Redbird's doing a really nice job recognizing, get the ball to Darius Burford, put him in an isolation, one-on-one situation against a freshman, and he's going to take advantage.
If anybody thought he'd play tentatively because he's wearing a mask after that orbital fracture.
I think it's actually juiced Burford up even more.
He's 6 of 7 from the floor, a 12-point game. Here's Carter from the outside, rattles in and out, and Burford comes away with it. Lewis open for three. That's no good, and the rebound goes to Jackson.
I don't necessarily like that look because Lewis isn't a great three-point shooter.
Scoball, he's had a quiet night, but he's got a mismatch. He gives it up to O'Connie. He's in trouble, but he just muscles that one in.
That was O'Connie's first bucket of this game.
Correct. He missed his first 6 shots from the floor and scores for the first time with just under 8 minutes to play. And Poindexter's fouled by O'Connie at the perimeter, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 7:44 to go. It's a 5-point Illinois State lead, 46-41 on UIC. (46-41) Illinois State, a 5-point lead on UIC with 7:44 to go. And a reminder, the Arch Madness app is the official app of the 2023 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament. The app has all the information you need to plan your trip to St. Louis, including the tournament schedule, ticket information, hotel accommodation, and special events during Arch Madness. Log on to archmadness.com or download the Arch Madness app on your Android or iOS device now. Kurt Pegler, Kelly Burke, and our Redbird production crew with you at the home of the Redbirds, Sefcu Arena here in Normal, Illinois. We've got a good ball game. It started out 13-0 Illinois State in the opening minutes of the game, and perhaps people thought the Redbirds were going to run the Flames right out of the building. That has not been the case.
UIC making this a real grinded-out game. Oh, nice put back by Burford.
How about Darius
Mid-air,
Burford?
and doing it over Anderson on the ground underneath him.
Missed the shot, but followed it up, and Darius Burford has a 14-point game.
Get Darius Burford the basketball.
Seneca Knight is now back on the floor for the Redbirds. He's got 4 fouls, so he's back on the floor with 7 minutes to go. Carter down the lane and scoring in traffic.
Carter, tough angle, too.
But he was just teed up. He said something to the official. The basket's going to count, but he got teed up.
Did he say to the official or did he say to McChesney? I think he wanted a foul there.
So count the basket.
It's a short leash, though, and that's what the players have to recognize. Their officials are calling this very closely, and they're not tolerating. Even we saw Coach Yaklich got a warning earlier. And Carter having a good discussion with the official.
Now the Redbirds can't cash in, though. Kasubke misses both free throws, and the technical foul now is the third personal on Carter. Redbirds from the line tonight are just 8 of 13. Again, an 80% shooting team, from the foul line. Darius Burford again. Can't get that one to go. It's tipped to the corner and saved by the Flames. It was Scoball who went and got it.
Got a little bit of a mismatch where they switched back.
And Carter just picked up his 4th foul, an offensive foul on the charge.
It's affecting both ends of the floor right now. Both teams are getting whistled for a lot of offensive fouls. So you see Carter, again, lowered his shoulder. Kasubke in position, and the officials have been calling that offensive foul all night.
And so right when Carter seemed to be getting into a rhythm, he's got to head to the bench because he's got 4 fouls here with about 6.5 minutes to go.
Miss Lewis, that he was wide open on that slip.
Kasubke goes around Jones. He lost his footing, and the ball is out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Flames, and Kasubke was looking for some sort of a call. Anderson, the man with a hot hand all night for the Flames, with the basketball. Guarded by McChesney. Takes him to the rim. Good defense by the Redbirds that time.
Nice job of McChesney defending without fouling.
Burford with a nice lob down to Lewis. Pump fake, and he lost the ball.
It was partially blocked, too.
And Kasubke gets a steal and a scrum on the floor. The possession arrow favors the Flames. But Luke Kasubke is now doing it on the defensive end. He took a charge a moment ago and got that ball off a steal here.
Luke Kasubke, he's been superb on the defensive end of the floor tonight. And doing a nice job, the hustle, too, after coming down previous trip a couple possessions ago, turning it over, making up for it on the defensive end.
Anderson, guarded by Poindexter, gives it up to Jones with 5 on the shot clock. He works on Kasubke and flipped it in.
Nice job by Jones. Tough angle from the baseline. Lofts it up off the glass.
UIC within 3, and it's the closest the Flames have been all night. Burford. Turnaround no good. Knight may have mistimed his jump on the rebound because the Flames come away with it. It's a 3-point basketball game. They can tie this thing up with a 3. Anderson's going to try and do that. Good rebound by Malachi Poindexter.
Good closeout on Anderson.
And now Ryan Peden calls for a 30-second timeout. We'll step aside with 4:24 to go. 3-point lead for the Redbirds.
In a community where friendships form our foundations,
At CEFQ Arena, where Illinois State leads UIC. It's a one-possession game, 48-45. Time for another quick check of our Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. Big midweek games in the Valley tonight, with Indiana State winning at Evansville, Valparaiso leading at Missouri State, Bradley a 6-point lead late at home over league co-leader Southern Illinois, and the other league co-leader Belmont is behind at Murray State. A late game tonight in Des Moines, still in the first half with Northern Iowa, a 3-point advantage over the Bulldogs, and that's our final look at our Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. Visit Toyota.com.
That SIU Bradley game and Belmont Murray State game, they're late in the second half, about 2 to 3 minutes to go in each of those respective games. Could really shake things up.
We could have a four-way tie for first tonight.
Buckle up the month of February.
Yeah. And this one, buckle up for the final 4.5 minutes here. The Redbirds are looking for their first points in over 3 minutes. Seneca Knight is stopped. His fadeaway jumper rims out.
It's a good look, though. That's a shot that Knight routinely makes, that turnaround.
Back in the game now is Jace Carter. That's him spinning and scoring, and we've got a 1-point game.
Tremendous footwork by Jace Carter as Kasubke playing really good defense on it, but went to the spin move the other way, change of direction, able to seal off Kasubke.
The Redbirds have had 2 long scoreless droughts here in the second half. One was 5 minutes, and now the current one is approaching 4 minutes here. They really need a bucket. Backdoor play, Poindexter from Kasubke.
Great off-ball cut by Poindexter, slashing the basket. Kasubke finds him on the reverse.
5 points for Malachi Poindexter. Excellent assist on the pass from Kasubke, who's done it both offensively and defensively tonight. Carter looked at the three and then knocked it down and tied the game.
Carter in front of his own bench. He was testing Kasubke, kind of jab stepped him. Are you going to guard me from three?
He's got 14 now. He had 3 at the half. Burford's going to try to answer. His shot's in.
Burford taking advantage of the switch, Skobal guarding him. He has been so good tonight.
16 points on 8 of 12 shooting for Darius Burford. And the Redbirds lead by 2 with 2:20 to play. Oconee answers.
Really good decision, though, Oconee. He knows Knight has 4 fouls. He's limited in how he can guard him because he doesn't want to foul out of this game. So attacks off the dribble.
Burford one-on-one with Skobal. There might be a mismatch someplace.
It was a mismatch last trip down the court.
Poindexter spinning. He stopped and he flipped it up and it rolls in.
Malachi Poindexter has found his offense the last couple trips down the floor. He had been quiet up to this point, but doing a better job looking for his shot.
The Redbirds have hit their last 3 shots from the floor after going scoreless for about 4 minutes, and now Luke Yaklich calls timeout.
It's a really nice job by Illinois State. UIC trying to take away Darius Burford and some of the other options that have worked for Illinois State in this game. So Malachi Poindexter all of a sudden has been shot hunting and done a nice job finding good looks. High percentage in the lane.
UIC has 7 fouls, so they're still a little bit away from the double bonus. The Redbirds have 8. The possession arrow favors Illinois State, and that's key here in the final 92 seconds.
Keep in mind, too, UIC, they've struggled at the free throw line tonight. Illinois State, even Illinois State, who's normally 80+%, they've struggled a little bit, 62% from the free throw line. So something to keep an eye on for both teams down the stretch.
Well, the Redbirds started this game so red hot, and they were above 50% from the floor until into the second half here. But again, 2 long scoreless droughts brought the Flames back in, and credit UIC, they've really buckled in defensively.
Locked in defensively, really made anything in the paint super difficult.
UIC was once down by 13 points. In fact, that happened twice in the first half where it was a 13-point spread. And again, with an opportunity to shoot for the tie or the lead here.
Look for either Anderson or Carter to get the shot.
Anderson's going to try a 3. Can't get it to go. High up to get it on the backboard is Seneca Knight. Now it's Kendall Lewis down. He lost the ball, though. And now it's a Malachi Poindexter steal. Oh, the ball changed hands there within a couple of seconds of each other.
Just a really nice heads-up job. Poindexter jumping that passing lane. What looked like it was going to be a fast break bucket back the other direction for UIC.
Yeah, that could wind up being the defensive play of the game as the Flames were ready to try to tie this thing.
And Poindexter, he had been so quiet tonight, but his 4 points in the last couple of trips down the floor and that steal could prove to be the difference in this game.
1 minute to play in this one. Redbirds have the basketball and a 2-point lead here on UIC. Again, these two teams met earlier this year with the Flames winning in Chicago. Here's that last sequence.
And it looked like Lewis, he just took his eye off the ball, saw, I believe it was McChesney that was open in the corner, and he was trying to get him the ball. And it's one of those things where your eyes sort of react before your body does.
So the Redbirds have Kasubke, Poindexter, Knight, Lewis, and Burford on the floor, and they have the basketball. The Flames on the floor have Carter, Trey Anderson. Those two guys are going to have the ball, you got to think. Skobal, Jalen Jackson. And also Stephen Clay. I'm sorry, also Okani. Burford with 5 on the shot clock. Looks inside. He's going to have to create. His shot from 3 is blocked, and it's a shot clock violation. Again, the UIC defense has come and turned the Redbirds over there with the shot clock winding down.
And that's the danger of waiting until about 10 seconds till that shot clock was down to really get into your offense, is you don't have a lot of options if UIC takes away some of the high ball screen looks that you were hoping to get.
That's the 3rd or 4th time here in the second half that the Flames defense was able to get a shot clock violation against the Redbirds. So here we go, the final half minute. Carter works to the baseline. His fadeaway is in, and we're tied again.
So a really good look. And Kendall Lewis, he wanted to make sure not to foul there, so he didn't even really put up a hand to contest Carter's shot.
Timeout Illinois State with 13.1 seconds to play.
If I'm Illinois State, I'm taking this shot early enough that I potentially have another look on a putback, especially the way UIC is playing defense right now. So you see Lewis guarding Carter, and watch on this baseline pull up, but Lewis doesn't contest because he doesn't want to foul Carter and send him to the free throw line.
Jace Carter was 1 of 4 for 3 points in the first half. He's got a 13-point second half. He's played with 4 fouls for the final chunk of this game, and his shot has tied this thing up at 54.
And credit some of that to Trey Anderson, because he had to get a lot more defensive attention in the second half than he did in the first half because he was shooting the ball so well. So it allowed Jace Carter to get a lot more touches than he got in that first half.
So who gets the shot here for the Redbirds?
In theory, it should be Darius Burford or Seneca Knight, but UIC is so locked in defensively right now, you almost have to look to one of Illinois State's maybe non-go-to players in this situation to be able to set them up for a shot attempt.
UIC leads the Valley in blocked shots and in steals. So this is a circumstance where on the defensive end, they have succeeded quite a bit. See if the Redbirds can run a play and get a good look. There's Burford, and he lost the ball. And now it's UIC with the basketball with 6.6 remaining.
Wow. Did he slip? Did it look like he slipped to you?
That's what it looked like to me. See if UIC does want to talk things over here. The Redbirds are out of timeouts, and now that's the final timeout for the Flames.
And just lost his balance. Really costly time to have a turnover, but you can't pin this point of the game, the fact that it's tied, on that play alone, because the offensive execution just hasn't been good down the stretch for Illinois State.
Well, the Flames have outscored the Redbirds 32-21 here in the second half. And again, we've mentioned it several times that the Flames defense has risen to the occasion.
3 to 4 shot clock violations.
And now the Redbirds have to maintain defense on probably 2 guys, Jace Carter or Trey Anderson.
And you have to do it without fouling, too. You would expect Anderson or Carter is going to get the ball. That's what's so difficult, too, is because Anderson and Carter, they're so quick, such a good first step, that to be able to defend them without fouling, but also not give them wide open looks, is going to be so tough.
Anderson and Carter have combined for 43 of UIC's 54 points tonight. And we'll see who gets the final shot. Carter to trigger. right in front of the Redbird bench. He gets it to Skobal, who hands to Anderson. 1 second on the clock. Anderson, and we're headed to overtime.
Good defense there, really pushing Anderson out, so he had to take a long three.
Five extra minutes here at Sefcu Arena. We're headed to overtime.
Really a best case scenario if you're Illinois State.
.54 all. Overtime is up next here on Marquee. Overtime at Sefcu Arena. Illinois State and UIC are even at 54. This is the fourth overtime game for Illinois State and the second overtime game for UIC. And all of the overtimes between these two teams have happened in Missouri Valley play. The Flames are 0-1 in overtime this year. The Redbirds are 1-2. And Illinois State wins the tip.
Get the ball to Lewis. He's got a little bit of a mismatch.
And remember, Carter and Okani each have 4 fouls for the Flames, and so does Seneca Knight for the Redbirds, and it's Knight who scores.
Nice job off that curl, really attacking the basket. We haven't seen him do that really since the first half.
That's a 3-ball miss that time from Carter. He had a wide open look. Darius Burford lost the dribble, gives it up to Kasubke. 7 on the shot clock, lobs down low. This is Kendall Lewis. He's going to work down low on Carter and score.
And Carter, he wanted the offensive foul, but he was inside the restricted area, so that's not going to be an offensive foul in that case.
So the Redbirds score on their first 2 possessions of the second of this extra frame here in overtime.
Well, this is the best offensive execution we've seen from Illinois State in some time.
The ball goes off the back of Lewis, and it's tracked down by the Redbirds. So Illinois State comes away after the UIC turnover. Poindexter gets it down low. This is Burford in traffic. He steps around his defender and scores.
Burford does such a nice job using his pivot foot, feeling out the defender, and getting the angle that he wants.
The Redbirds open the overtime with 6 straight. Carter down the lane, and he's fouled. No, it's on Burford.
I'm going to say it's either on Burford or Knight. This is the best offensive burst we've seen from Illinois State since the opening of this game. Is Carter able to split the 2 Redbird defenders?
Now, Illinois State just played an overtime game 1 week ago tonight, Wednesday night of last week at Bradley. Illinois State scored the first 4 points of the overtime, but couldn't finish.
Yeah, good point.
Here they've got a 6-point advantage. See if the Redbirds can this time take it home. Anderson and Carter have been great everywhere but at the free throw line tonight.
Go figure, and they're normally very good free throw shooters.
So he splits the free throws, and it's a 5-point Illinois State lead. The Redbirds with a basketball here. Under 3 minutes to go in the OT. Lewis in the paint. His fadeaway rolls off. And a foul in the backcourt against Illinois State. And if that's Seneca Knight, he's got number 5. So Seneca Knight fouls out after an 11-point, 5-rebound game.
That's a tough one, too, because it was on a foul that probably shouldn't have happened, just sniping a little too overly aggressive, trying to corral that offensive board.
Knight to the Redbird bench, and Liam McChesney replaces him. Meanwhile, it's Okani to the free throw line. His first free throw of the game is good. 67% free throw shooter on the season.
That foul also put UIC in the double bonus.
Boy, he had a big game against the Redbirds in Chicago earlier this year. 18 points and 7 blocked shots. He's not had that kind of an impact tonight offensively. He's got 5 points, but his free throws now pull his team within 3.
Oh, Poindexter was so open on that curl, and they missed him.
Seven to shoot. It's Kasubke. He's going to try a 3, and it's in.
And you honestly could have argued there that Kasubke, his hand got hit a little bit by Carter.
A gigantic three-point make for Luke Kasubke. He's got 14 tonight. Okani now takes Kasubke to the paint, and there's going to be a whistle, and it's going to go against Kasubke.
Kasubke, he wanted the hooking call on Okani. Thought he hooked him, trying to seal him off.
And that's personal foul number 4 on Luke Kasubke.
Watch this. So right here, he thought he got hooked because the elbow was around Kasubke. And Kasubke's got a little bit of a case there.
The Flames are 7 of 17 from the free throw line tonight. Make it 8 of 18. A minute 50 to go. This has been a war of attrition, hasn't it?
It's been a grinded out type of game for both teams.
Poindexter. Now it's Lewis from the corner. He takes it all the way into the paint, and he draws contact, and that's going to be a foul on Okani, and he just fouled out.
Just a really smart move by Kendall Lewis. Recognizing Okani had 4 fouls on him. He's had success getting in the paint here in this overtime period, attacking the basket.
And so Toby Okani now fouls out after a 7.4 rebound game. The second player tonight to foul out. 1 for Illinois State, 1 for UIC. And now Kendall Lewis to the foul line. Lewis is really on a roll right now the last couple of weeks.
He's really found his confidence again.
Yeah.
Been able to finish again at the rim. He was really in a little bit of an offensive slump for a while.
He had 18 points and 10 rebounds Sunday against Southern, followed up a 16 and 12 game against Bradley, and he's got a double-double again. Another rebound for Lewis. He's got 12 points tonight and 11 rebounds.
Third double-double in a row. And that's the type of response you want to see as his head coach, Ryan Peden. He knew Lewis had it in him. He'd seen flashes of it earlier this season.
Redbird's going to run a little clock here, but they're down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. The lob, it goes to Burford. But there's a foul on the play, and they're going to say a whistle against. In fact, they're going to call it against the Redbirds.
Offensive foul. There's been a lot of offensive fouls in this game called.
That's on Luke Kasubke. That was a strange sequence. They tried to do a lob.
Oh, it's right. If you see just in the corner of the screen, Carter had set up camp outside the restricted area, and as Kasubke was dumping off, as you see right there, goes right into him. Well played by Carter.
So Carter takes a charge, and now it's the Flames with the basketball in the final 45 seconds. Anderson flipped it up and in off the glass.
Well, and the worst part about Kasubke fouling out is he's the best defender on the floor for Illinois State.
Redbirds get the ball into Poindexter, who splits the pressure and dribbles it back out, and now he's double-teamed at the timeline, and we've got a foul against Clay.
Well, that's the one person you don't want to foul if you're UIC is the player that shoots 97% on the season.
Well, it paid off. Poindexter just his second miss of the season. And back down on the other end, a quick basket that time now for Carter. We got a 3-point basketball game. Malcolm Miller is in the game now, and the inbounds pass goes to Malachi Poindexter, and again, a whistle. And we've got a timeout.
There's a lot of time left still.
Yeah, 3-point game with 23 seconds to go could be an eternity.
This game, when Kasubke fouled out, things changed a lot on the defensive end of the floor. If you're Illinois State, you have to hit some free throws and really lock in defensively.
All right, here's our foul trouble. Jace Carter.
He's got 4.
Has got 4 fouls, and Toby Okani of UIC, Luke Kasubke, and Seneca Knight of Illinois State have all fouled out of this game.
Kasubke, Illinois State's best defender. He's been guarding Jace Carter and Trey Anderson all night.
Trey Anderson has played 42 minutes, and Malachi Poindexter 40, and Kendall Lewis 45.
Kendall Lewis, he's the Iron Man right now on this Illinois State team. He played all 40 minutes the other night, too, against the Salukis.
The Redbirds send McChesney, Lewis, Poindexter, Burford, and Malcolm Miller on the floor. The Flames are sending out Jalen Jackson, Christian Jones, Trey Anderson, Jace Carter.
Keep in mind, the reason you see Miller is because Colton Sandage isn't playing tonight, so they don't have any other guards on the bench.
Yeah, the Redbirds thin in the backcourt, and Miller, there's a whistle before he can get the play in, and that foul is going to go against the Flames. They're going to say it's Trey Anderson, and so Anderson has now just picked up his 4th foul. Add him to the graphic of players in foul trouble.
That's not a bad thing for UIC because they fouled before even any time went off on the clock. Illinois State was likely going to go to the free throw line anyway.
Here's the sequence. So he fouls.
I don't think it's the worst foul, although he fouled Poindexter is the issue.
So Malachi Poindexter, who just missed an attempt at the free throw line, is going to come back down here to the line. And again, as you said, he's been excellent all year. Comes in at 97%. So if you're the Redbirds, this is the guy you want at the free throw line.
In theory, yes. And if you're UIC, you still have the full 23.4 seconds left on the shot clock. Although I guess they'll review to make sure the timing is completely right.
Yeah, the officials are huddling right now over the monitor as both teams kind of go through their strategy here with 23 seconds to go. Again, if you're just joining us, the Redbirds jumped out to a 13-0 lead to start the game, but UIC erased that 13-point deficit in the second half and forced overtime here. It's going to be a couple of free throws now coming because the Redbirds are in the double bonus. So the last free throw attempt was a miss for Malachi Poindexter on the front end of a one-on-one. This is a 2 free throw trip to the foul line.
Double bonus now for Illinois State, too.
Sissoko now comes in for Miller. Here's a defensive substitution. He's got more length here at the on the defensive end. And both free throws in for Malachi Poindexter.
Huge for Illinois State.
So it's a 2-possession game now. Anderson gets a screen from Carter and now gives it back to Carter. Stovall is left open for three. His long three is missed. The rebound goes to Carter in front of the UIC bench. He's almost falling out of bounds, and the rebound goes to Liam McChesney with 7.6 to go, and Anderson may have just fouled out.
And Anderson, you could have argued down over right to the right of us. He almost traveled. He may have even, if you see a replay, he may have even traveled there on that possession. The fans right near us wanted to travel right away.
And Liam McChesney can pretty much seal this one at the free throw line. Anderson goes to the UIC bench after fouling out, but what a night for Trey Anderson.
29 points. On
10 of 17 shooting and 6 3-point makes, which matches his season high. He had a 6 3-point game against Northern Iowa earlier. Meanwhile, McChesney now would like to make this one to make it a 6-point spread here with 7.6 to go.
This has been a rare off shooting night at the free throw line for Illinois State, just 63%.
And the second one rolls in, so the Redbird lead is 6 with 7.6 to go here. Here's Jace Carter. And a collision and an offensive foul, and Jace Carter now walks to the bench after fouling out. I'm not sure I've seen a game.
I would actually love to know how many offensive fouls were called. I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay.
5 players have fouled out of this one. And the Redbirds win it in overtime, 68-62. It wasn't pretty, but the Redbirds will take it.
It doesn't have to always be pretty, though. In Illinois State, this is a big step for them to win back-to-back conference games. They have some momentum now. They've had to win in different ways, too. Tonight had to grind it out when they weren't playing their best, even on the offensive and defensive end of the floor.
Time now for our Carl Broman Medical Center player of the game, Darius Burford. Mask and all, after his orbital fracture knocked him out of the Sunday game against Southern Illinois, comes back for the Redbirds and scores 18 points on 9 of 14 shooting. He had 3 rebounds, and he really gave the Redbirds a lift in the second half when they were in a scoring drought and needed something with Seneca Knight on the bench.
Burford was the offense early in the second half for Illinois State when they were really struggling to get anything going, and he was such a difference maker, just his attitude and embracing the fact he has to wear a mask and playing through it like it's no issue whatsoever. And I can tell you, when you have a mask like that, it changes your depth perception, but Darius Burford's showing no signs of letting it affect him.
Yeah, really came through in the clutch for the Redbirds when they needed it. He's our Carl Broman player of the game, redefining healthcare around you. Visit carl.org to find the care you need. The Redbirds win it here tonight by a final of 68-62. And again, as Kelly said, they don't all have to be pretty, but the Redbirds will take the victory. What a game. In overtime, Illinois State is a winner. For our Redbird production crew and my broadcast partner, Kelly Burke, and our producer tonight and our crew that just really worked hard, Kelly Lambert, I'm Kurt Pegler. So long from Normal, Illinois. The final score once again in overtime, Illinois State 68 and UIC 62.